International Jason Lee up against Paul Penrice. Mark Forster, with 5 tries already, faces the South African Mark Johnson. It's a League of Nations in the big league these days. Ronnie Kettlewell up against Frenchman David Frace. Welshman Jonathan Davis is back after injury, and it's Kevin Payne. Watch out for 17-year-old Paul Sculthorpe, a rare young talent this, and Wayne Kitchen makes his 100th appearance for Town. Warrington skipper Greg Mackey and Workington's Dean Marwood. Up front, 2 Aussies come head-to-head, Dave King and Gary Schubert. It's Mark Hilton and former Warrington man Roland Phillips on his first return to Wilderspool. Hookers, they unearthed a star in John Hough last week, and Jonty Gawley's not bad either. Second row's 2 experienced men in Paul Cullen and Colin Armstrong, while it's Bruce Maguire head-to-head with England international Stephen Holgate. And locking the scrum, Mike Wainwright and Darren Carter. The coaches, Australian Brian Johnson and the Kiwi who's back in the big league, Kurt Sorensen. And they've named the following substitutes for Warrington. It's Graham Close, Gareth Davis, who'll be on his debut if he gets on, Gary Chambers and Iestyn Harris. And on the bench for Workington, Mark Wallace, Jason Moore, Gary McGurk and Peter Riley. Well, a smash of players emerge from the tunnel here at Wilderspool to a traditional, as we were saying earlier, pantomime reception. They are the bad guys tonight, and they've been booed all the way to the centre spot. Colin Armstrong is the Workington skipper tonight, Cumbria representative, matches against the Aussies, bags of experiences. And there's the man who is now known as the big league's train spotter, the Welsh international Roland Phillips, named in the Centenary World Cup squad. Roland Phillips had a bit of fun with him at Warrington's Banquet station, as you probably gathered if you watched that little piece about a quarter of an hour ago. So this crowd that is being boosted by all the youngsters in for free tonight have come to see Greg Mackey lead the local heroes out. Behind him, Dave King, then Lee Penny, and out come the young players that will delight this crowd, I'm sure. And 1 or 2 old heads as well. Greg Mackey, the captain, a penalty try and 2 drop goals against Sheffield last Friday, 2 tries against Workington here last season. A man who came to the United Kingdom in 1989. Terrific servant to this club second time round. Here's the Warrington team for you. Penny, Forster, Kettlewell, Davis is back after injury, and Lee, Sculthorpe and Mackey. The forwards, King, Hough, Hilton, Cullen, Maguire and Wainwright. And on the bench, Close, Gareth Davis, Chambers and Harris for Brian Johnson, who is the coach. They welcome back Jonathan Davis after a 2-match absence. A man who knows what it's like to score against Workington. The Workington team now. Livett, local boy, Penrice, Pape, Frace and Johnson, Kitchen and Marwood. And it's Schubert, Gawley, Phillips, Armstrong, who is skipper tonight, and Holgate, with Carter at the back of the scrum. On the bench, Wallace, Moore, McGurk and Riley. And the coach is the Kiwi Kurt Sorensen. So many glorious days just up the road from here at Widnes. Match referee is Colin Morris, the man in charge of the whistle tonight. And I think, as Steve-O was saying when we were building up the atmosphere to this match, Steve-O, this will be a tough one for the referee to control, particularly early on.
Yes, the forwards really will get into each other. A great deal of love lost between the Warrington and Workington side, mainly due to the fact that Warrington have so many scouts up in Cumbria. So much talent has come down from that county. And Workington Town, they are not impressed by it at all.
Gary Schubert, the prop forward, the Australian. Ever present in the number 8 jersey so far. It's his 10th year in British football. He began at Salford, also to Carlisle, but 5 seasons here now at Workington. And quite a battle in prospect with Big Dave King. If you were watching that game against Oldham last month, well, first touch of the football for Warrington, he was over for a try. Great competitor. No one competes more than this fella. Jonathan Davis back in the centres for Warrington tonight. So we're live and exclusive here at Wilderspool for the Stones Bitter Centenary Championship match between Warrington and Workington. And it's Workington who get the game underway. Wayne Kitchen's kickoff, fielded by Mackey. First run of the game from Paul Cullen. And number 10, Roland Phillips, one of the first men in there for the tackle, saying that he hasn't got much to prove to anyone here at Warrington tonight after his spell here. But my word, how he would love a big game.
Good defence from Workington early on. One going low and at least one going up onto the top, making sure that the Wires have no chance of keeping the ball alive. It's very good defence. They're eager. You can see them moving up quickly out wide.
The important thing for Workington is to make a good start and then try and maintain that start. Last tackle here for Warrington. Inevitably it's with Davis. He thumps it downfield. And Peter Livett, local boy from the Woolston Amateur Club, not far up the road here from Wilderspool. First touch for him, and confident too.
Never took his eyes off the football. Tremendous take. When you talk about the confidence, it really is a great atmosphere out there, and only the confident players will perform under this pressure.
Well, we've made a great play tonight. It was a dreadful ball. Kevin Pape just not alert to the prospect of the pass inside from his captain.
Well, he thought he was going to be left out there, and that was just a feeble attempt there from Pape.
Good job he got a hand to it though, Steve-O. Davis was steaming up for the intercept.
Well, we were just talking about the confidence, and that really did show a lack of it. Now then, the referee, Colin Morris.
He's having a word with... Somebody's blowing a whistle apparently in the stand here. And the policeman is having a word, and there will be an announcement on the tannoy that the whistler better stop, otherwise Colin Morris... Well, it has been known that referees have threatened to abandon matches because of whistles are in the crowd, so we can do without that. Anyway, the time is now back on. And Warrington in possession here with Sculthorpe. He gets the pass away. This is Bruce Maguire.
Well, I hope that they get rid of the idiot, because it's hard enough to referee, especially under this atmosphere. Nerves are tingling, and it's a good job that the referee went right onto the sideline, reported it quickly.
Warrington midway inside the Workington half of the field with Sculthorpe. 17 years old, Paul Sculthorpe, and holding him down in the tackle. Workington are caught. Carter was there.
He came in late, did Darren Carter. A flop, in fact. The tackle had already been completed. He was very, very late coming in there. There you see it. There was no need for it. Just a simple flop. Just over enthusiastic. Early nerves getting to him, but surely this will be an easy shot for Jonathan Davis.
Yes, it was Holgate who was lying on top of the player, and Carter came really and pushed Holgate back down on him, didn't he? So the referee deciding that there was interference as the Warrington man was getting to his feet, and so Jonathan Davis has got that angle now to score the first points of this evening. It's a smashing atmosphere that has been built up around the ground here tonight because of Warrington's bold plan to allow the youngsters into the ground absolutely free of charge. And as we came up to the gantry here, they were queuing all down the road still, waiting to get in. Hope they're in now to watch Davis's first attempt at goal. He's kicked the 2 points for Warrington. The home side have the lead, 2 points to nil, courtesy of the boot of Jonathan Davis. Injured against Leeds 2 weeks ago. He's missed the last two. That's his 17th successful goal kick of the season. There they are. They're still outside the gates waiting to come in, all the youngsters. They're all outside that side of the ground, and inside there's quite a crowd already. Great move by the local club.
And when the Warrington side came out for their warm-up about 15 minutes before kick-off time, there was no doubt in the youngsters' minds who the star is. That's a man that's just popped over 2 points. Jonathan Davis, they were chanting his name 15 minutes before the kickoff.
Kitchen restarts, Mackey's underneath it again. Another run coming in here from Paul Cullen. Big, brave, robust forward. Scrambling to his feet. And this is Forster. He jumped all over the Workington player. Now it's a penalty to Warrington because Schubert wouldn't get off the grounded player again.
Good refereeing by Colin Morris. It's a tactic that a lot of clubs use. Now then he moves off. Now Cullen could have been penalised there for moving off the spot. He wasn't. But it's well spotted by Colin Morris because Workington have come to try to slow the pace down. You can't blame them. They saw that the youngsters fired on all cylinders last week against Sheffield, and they know their only chance is to slow Warrington right down.
They'll have to be careful though, because of course referees coaching director Greg McCallum is very anxious to cut down on any messing around at the play of the ball. Meanwhile, Davis spills that pass, and this is Holgate. He gets it away to Kevin Pake. Kevin Pake is tackled by Lee Penny. Wrestled to the floor. In the dummy half is Gawley.
Tried to be too smart there, Warrington. They tried to move on the last tackle. Went to the open, then switched it back, but Jonathan Davis had already gone.
The little pass from Phillips, it was put down by Frace.
That was try time. Maybe just a hint forward, but that really was setting up a try. There's a mistake there. Davis had overrun it. Well spotted by Holgate. He was away quickly. But what a mistake by the Frenchman, David Frace. He was a well-worked little short move there by Roland Phillips. Short little pass.
Mark Forster driving it in. Warrington's leading try scorer with 5 touchdowns so far this season. Here's Mike Wainwright now. Another outstanding talent. He's only 20. The only man in the Warrington squad to be in the England World Cup party. Little knock on though. Picked up by the referee. He'll put the scrum down. John Hoff.
Well, it's well played by Colin Armstrong. Once the ball is placed on the floor, you can strike for it like he did there. A real mess that made the youngster knock on.
Now Paul Penrice. Maguire came in quickly to give Sculthorpe some support. Marwood gets it away to Darren Carter.
Tremendous tackle there from the prop, Mark Hilton.
Here's Roland Phillips. He was a big favourite here at Wilderspool before he left. As I say, Howie would love a big game here tonight. Armstrong gives the ball to Livette, the man who wants a big game in tonight's big league fixture. David Frace is the dummy half. Gets the pass away to Kevin Pake. Penrice is out there on the touchline, but Pake took the tackle instead. That's Gawley, the dummy half. He finds Marwood under pressure from Mackey. He hoists the high kick, and it bounces kindly for Workington. This is David Frace, and David Frace scores! The high kick caused pandemonium in the Warrington defence. The ball bounced back kindly, and the kids are booing the villain. The villain is David Frace.
Well, it was a real case of pantomime. Look behind you, and I'm afraid that the winger didn't do that. Was he interfered with? Not according to the referee, Colin Morris. He was a villain a couple of minutes ago, but David Frace on this occasion picks out the 4. It's a super kick from Marwood. But really, Forster should have gone for it. You don't struggle with a man, you move yourself and lift yourself off the ground. Nice handoff from the Frenchman. You take your chances, you pay your money, you pay your price, and sometimes the price is right.
David Frace with that try, his second touchdown after his summer signing from Bradford. Bradford Bulls, of course. Their coach Brian Smith is our guest in the studio tonight. No doubt we'll get a comment from Brian about Frace. Marwood with the conversion attempt. Oh, he's just missed it. How close can you be from the touchline? And the Toon Army have a 4-2 lead. And the youngsters are far from impressed.
There you can see Marwood's picked out Forster. Knows he's on his own. Excellent stuff there. Johnson went for him, in the field enough, and the mistake is picked up by the Frenchman David Fraisse.
In the French test team since 1987, David Fraisse. Great start for Workington Town then. First try for them. And Davis restarts. 10 minutes gone, and Workington Town have the lead by 4 points to 2. Now, a man with a foot in both camps here tonight is Kevin Ellis, once of Warrington, last season of Workington, and he is on the touchline with Bill Arthur.
He's almost just stepped off the plane from Australia. In fact, his first sight of the big league so far this season. What do you make of this game so far, Kevin?
Well, it's a great atmosphere. You know, it's very exciting, you know, with this 3 children coming in, and you know, the game is living up to everything. You know, it's 50-50 at the moment. It was a great try there by David Fraisse, and I think it's going to be a big score tonight.
Well, that's what the youngsters would love to see, I'm sure. Tries are plenty at both ends, and I'm afraid Workington have kicked out on the full. Darren Carter slicing off the outside of his boot.
Won't be happy with that. The loose forward is on the last, so that's why the turnover goes back to the place where it was kicked from.
Well, Warrington, with this big army of potential new supporters, will not want to blow this. The ground is packed. Terrific atmosphere, but at the moment, Workington ahead by 4-2, and a great boo as Mark Hilton's head went back under that challenge. Here's Sculthorpe now. Wainwright's there, he showed it, but Workington didn't take the dummy. Good tackling from them. There's Wainwright. This is Mackey. Ball out wide to Dave King. Further out wide to Kettlewell. And now it's Mark Forster. And he disappears under 4 black jerseys of Workington. Last tackle here for Warrington.
Super defence from Workington. They really are working hard for each other.
That's the planned move. The kick across field by Greg Mackey was looking for Jason Lee. And it just skimmed off the turf and ran touching goal.
Well, Paul Penrice really did get caught there. Luckily, the ball was far too strong from Greg Mackey. This is a tough one. They really are putting the bodies on the line in the tackles.
Carter plays the ball, and that was Marwood. This now is Roland Phillips, and Warrington are watching him very closely. Maguire in there quickly, so too Sculthorpe. Marwood, the dummy half, gets the ball to Colin Armstrong. Didn't play that ball properly. That's going to be a penalty.
He knew he was losing it. Thought he could get away with it, but it was well spotted by Colin Morris. Lost control of it completely. Well, that's a bad mistake. He's not happy with it, rightly so. The Workington skipper. Well, a lot of mistakes coming about because of the pressure being applied. I'm afraid that was an unforced one on that occasion. I think both sides are going to have to start looking for different tactics, because both defences moving up quickly. That's where you've got to utilise a little kick, a little grubber, or perhaps a chip over the top.
Warrington well ahead in terms of penalties, 3-0. Behind on the scoreboard, and all the young supporters and old supporters on the terraces now starting to get behind their team. This is a real attacking possibility for them. They switch it down the blind side. Wainwright gets the pass away to Forster, and Forster is grounded 3 metres short of the line. Here's Mackey. Mackey gets it away to Cullen. Cullen is wrestled to the floor. Marwood in there. So too was Roland Phillips. John Huff is the dummy half. This is Mackey. He finds Sculthorpe. Sculthorpe to Penny. They have a man out wide and overlap, but Penny was a bit greedy. He went for the try, he went for the glory, and he was hauled down. Kettlewell, Sculthorpe, Mackey looks again to kick cross field. That almost came up, but Mark Johnson's come up with a football for them. Well watched by the South African.
Cool as a cucumber.
Offside Warrington.
Never made any attempt to get back to 10 when they quickly played the ball. You could see that Wainwright was well and truly offside. But how cool is that? The South African Mark Johnson. Well, we were calling for the kick, and they are the tactics to use. Look at how eager Warrington are now to get involved.
Well, they'll have to be. I mean, the last thing, Steve-O, they want, having opened the door, to the youngsters to get them in for free is to blow it by losing the match and having them lose interest.
Sure,
it's
is.
a double-edged sword, really.
It sure is. I mean, you talk about pressure on the club's finances, and good luck to them for doing that. But also pressure on the players, as you mentioned. But they knew it was going to be tough. Workington always do come out with a lot of fire.
It's Workington who are in possession. The dummy half there is Gawley, and he gets the pass away to Kitchen, who hoists an enormous up and under, and he nearly lost it there, Forster, but he just got it at the vital moment.
Oh, he nearly lost it there. The tackle jolted it clear. It's obvious that the Workington coach, Kurt Sorensen, feels that the winger Mark Forster is a problem in catching the high ball. That's the second occasion. They scored off the first and nearly got a second.
16 minutes gone. Warrington 2, Workington 4. That's Mark Hilton with that drive upfield for Warrington.
What a work he's getting through. Mark Hilton not only taking the ball up, but he's getting through a ton of work tackling.
Good quick hands from Warrington.
Let go! Let go! Let go!
Kettlewell plays the ball to Forster. He finds Mackey. This now is Dave King. Huge figure of a man. He gets the ball away to Huff. And Huff tries to dart away. Workington coach Kurt Sorensen, no doubt enjoying what he's seen so far. Knows there's a long way to go. That hangs in the Warrington night air. But Peter Livett underneath it gets away from the tackler Jason Lee.
Well, that was a wasted effort. It was far too long. There was no pressure applied to the fullback Livett. All the time in the world. They've got to sort themselves out, Warrington.
Penrice picks himself up, plays the ball. That was Gawley to Marwood, and this now is Kevin Pape. Gawley again. Colin Armstrong takes it over and drags Workington up to the halfway line. There's Gawley once more and Marwood. Marwood looking busy tonight. Ball out wide looking for Johnson. He's been dragged into touch. Workington say it was second effort rather than the tackle.
That's where he was tackled. Once the elbows and the upper part of the body hit the ground, you can't just continue moving him. That is a bad mistake there.
Referee agrees. It's a penalty to Workington.
Well, knowing the Workington tactics over the past couple of weeks, they've worked hard in the forwards. They're driving to the middle, and as we've seen already, they'll use the high kick.
Gary Schubert with that drive into the Warrington defence. That's a lovely little change of pace from Wayne Kitchen. And 3 Warrington men there to bring him down. But Workington examining this Warrington defence again. And this is Armstrong. Tried to slip the pass. Plays it quickly. Dart for the line. He knocked on.
He must have gone short. Well, I'm not so sure. Well, I think the hooker got over. I think he's been damn unlucky. The force of the forearm, that's all it takes. Now then, did it go short? Good positioning by Colin Morris.
Just an inch or two short, I think. Good decision by the referee. Warrington will try and strike from deep with Davis. Penrice there and Pape to bring him down, and Penrice having a word in the Welshman's ear, and Davis smiling at whatever was said. Well, another penalty here against Workington, and I'm sure the referee is going to have a word with Colin Armstrong here and say any more of this and one of your players is in the bin.
Well, it's a tactic. Workington came out with the intention of doing exactly that. Referee Colin Morris telling Colin Armstrong any more of this and they go for a little bit of a rest. 10 minutes in the sin bin. Well, it's worked so far. They've got away with it for nearly 20 minutes. Not only that, it's upset the rhythm of Warrington, who find themselves 2 points adrift. This was not in the script.
Almost a quarter of this match gone. Workington ahead, and a mistake, a big mistake.
Well, he was very slow as the hooker, John Hoff, there. And you could see the Australian turn round. King said, "You're kidding, mate."
Well, Workington defending stoutly. Remember, defence has been a problem for them. 166 points conceded already, and beaten 66-22 by the Saints at Derwent Park last Sunday. Handling errors are level, but the scoreboard is Workington's at the moment, 4-2. Gawley. Nowhere for him to go.
Good hard work from the Workington side. Nothing frills.
Oh, lovely run here from Roland Phillips. He's got support from Carter. Carter has the ball jolted out of his grasp. It bounces to Frace, and Frace gets the pass away, and Mark Johnson is in, but the referee has pulled it back for the knock-on. Well, Workington denied here by the referee's decision, and is it a hairline decision, this?
Well, it came off Greg Mackey. That should have been play on. How on earth is pulled out a knock-on out of that? Well, they are very fortunate, Warrington.
The Workington man, I think, lost control, but it bounced off Mackey. Here it is, watch. There.
Well, maybe he didn't have full control. Either way, it came off Mackey's arm. Well, I reckon he's made a big mistake there.
Well, there you go. Something to talk about, certainly, in this match. 21.5 minutes gone, and Workington so close to a second try, denied by the referee's whistle, Colin Morris. Needless to say, there was a hush that descended on this Wilderspool ground when Workington got over for the line, and then a cheer when the youngsters discovered that Colin Morris had blown for the infringement.
Well, it was a great break by Roland Phillips. He threw the dummy. Super stuff. Once again, that is a poor kick.
Just turning Workington round, but Livet was waiting 10 metres from his own line to collect that kick. That's a better chase, though, from Warrington. And Steve-O, remarkably, this atmosphere inside this ground tonight is actually spurring Workington on at this moment, too.
Well, they're playing to the tactics that they came out with. It must be pleasing for their coach, Kurt Sorensen.
Warrington just shading it in terms of possession, but on the scoreboard, it's Workington's 4-2. And they're coming again with second rower Holgate.
They're beginning to get over the advantage line with a lot of ease.
One or two Warrington players just plodding a little. Difficult kick down towards that corner there. Well collected by Kettlewell, and he was lucky to get away with that.
Well,
when the ball hits the deck, the opposition can strike for it with the foot.
Shouldn't I go back to 6 then?
If he got a touch. Worrying moments for Brian Johnson, the Warrington coach. Cullen drives it in almost through the chest of Kevin Payne. Here now is Wainwright. Wainwright looking for support. The support there on the bounce from Sculthorpe. Off goes Paul Sculthorpe, heading for the corner, trying to get round Livet. And Livet stands up to the challenge well. And what's more, rolls the youngster into touch. That's terrific defence from Peter Livet.
Beautiful tackle. He knows that he can't go low. Any chance of missing, he took ball and all and then took him into the touch. But a beautiful run by Sculthorpe. He showed his speed. Also showed a lot of class by making sure that he didn't just panic. Maybe he's thinking he took the wrong option, but you can't take away the beautiful cover defence from Peter Livet.
Yes, the Workington fullback, who really has settled in well in the big league after making his early name, and he's 24 now in the amateur game.
I know one thing, Eddie, some of those guys out there tonight are going to be sore. There's some real crunches going in.
Well, there certainly is. Referee, I think, has caught somebody offside, but it's a Workington player.
Not
Offside at the play of the ball, not getting back to 5.
There you see him, making no attempts. He's saying you can't just stand there as though you're directing traffic. You must make an attempt. If it had started moving, the referee, Colin Morris, would have given him the benefit of the doubt. The rule states that when you are in possession of the football, when you play the ball, you must be 5 metres behind that man. The defending side, of course, has to stand the 10. Now, if he'd have started walking, the benefit out of the doubt would have gone Workington's way, and that is a silly penalty.
So 25 minutes gone, and Jonathan Davies has the second chance for the penalty goal, and this one will level the scores if he's successful. I'm not so sure it wasn't Colin Armstrong, the Workington captain, who just had his hands on his head at the play the ball, and maybe it was Gary Schubert. Whatever, it was a Workington player, and he was standing there and not making any attempt to get back, and Davies has missed the kick. Well, that Warrington bench, and Clive Griffiths there standing, he is not too impressed.
Well, you see the man just standing there. It's a prop forward,
It
Gary
is
Schubert.
Yeah.
Venus de Milo wouldn't have got away with that one.
Marwood with the dropout. Goes to the other end of the field, and Maguire will run it back. Schubert, he obviously is feeling the pace. He's been replaced by Gary McGurk. McGurk missed all of last season, but he's back in favour under Kurt Sorensen. No wonder Schubert feeling the pace, if indeed that is the reason he has been taken off. It has been relentless, Steve, hasn't it, on both sides? Warrington lose the ball. John Gawley's got it back for Workington.
Poor play from the hooker, John Hoff. He tried to keep the ball alive in an hopeless situation. And that is their problem. They're forcing the pass when they don't need to.
Lovely run here from Dean Marwood. Good job that Maguire was there, and Maguire puts him down. Marwood trying to pinch the penalty from the referee, who'll have none of it. This is McGurk, gets the ball away, little knock on there. Referee said it went backwards, play on. Armstrong will drive it in.
They're playing well, this Workington 6. They're sharing the work, and you can see they're getting over that advantage line again. Warrington are very slow to get themselves set up for the defensive pattern.
Marwood, drop goal attempt from Marwood. It just went wide. It just spun wide at the last moment.
Not the best effort that he's ever attempted. Everything went wrong. You could see that the ball was spinning as it went off the hands in the downward spiral. Won't be happy with that. He knew the importance of getting 1 point. That would have settled things, and they would have got possession.
Now Sculthorpe again. Well, we gave them big raps, these Warrington youngsters, last week. Sculthorpe and Hoff in particular, the two youngsters in your picture there. Hoff at the play the ball, gets it away to Mark Hilton. He's a youngster too, he's only 20.
The youngster can only play if the forwards are going to start working, and I'm afraid the Warrington pack haven't done that yet.
Yestin Harris has come on for Paul Cullen.
It's only really Mark Hilton that's really shone, both in attack and defence.
Cullen's injured, by the way. We're making a check to see just how serious the knock is. Meanwhile, Sculthorpe got the ball back.
It's got to be offside.
There's a knock on, the referee's ruled here.
Well, he's passed the football, and then he comes back to him. When the man passed him, perhaps, the referee, Colin Morris, said that he'd put him back onside. That's why the scrum goes down. Well, you see he'd gone on the inside position. Well, he's having a fine game so far, Colin Morris. Here's
McGurk now.
He's perhaps missed a couple of things early, but he's certainly tightened up.
Darren Carter. Well, this Workington pack are really taking it to Warrington, there's no doubt about that. They've surprised a few here. Noticeably, they've surprised about 4,000 or 5,000 young people who've come in to see the big league for free tonight. They thought they were coming to cheer an easy Warrington win, but they must be impressed, Steve-O, with the standard of the contest they're seeing and the standard of that run from Phillips.
Well, look at that. They're moving across that advantage line again.
Drop goal attempt again. Second one, he was under no pressure at all, Wayne Kitchen, and he's got the extra point.
Well, what on earth are Warrington doing? Look at that. There isn't a Warrington player in sight. That is not what we classify as an enthusiastic defence. Yet the first 20 minutes, both sides were great. Warrington have just fallen asleep.
Wayne Kitchen marks his 100th appearance with the drop goal. And Brian Johnson a penny for his thoughts. I think he will be reading the riot act to his players at half-time because they're asleep, Steve-O. They're not at the races. Let's go downstairs to Bill Arthur. He's got news of the injury to Paul
Yes,
Cullen.
they've lost the influential Paul Cullen with what looks like a shoulder injury. He's gone straight down the tunnel back to the dressing room, and I think he's got a date with the doctor just to see how bad that injury is. And Kevin, that really is just another blow for Warrington when they hadn't got their game together.
Well, I can't believe how lethargic Warrington's performance is. You know, Workington has come here to get the 2 points, and the way they're playing, you know, it's playing like a cup final. Warrington are just playing one up all the time, no support, and they just need to get it to the backs. That's where the pace is.
I think the longer this goes on, Workington are growing in confidence, aren't they?
Oh, definitely. You know, there's big forwards, Roland Phillips, taking it up, and he's offloading as well, as you see there.
He just was ruled to have made a forward pass to Darren Carter, and Phillips can't believe it, but it was a wild forward.
A mile?
Wild.
A while. Jeez.
I was going to say a wee bit, and then I decided to change my mind.
But he's having a great game, isn't he? Roland Phillips. Got fond memories down here at Warrington. They knew what to expect from him.
Kevin Ellis, Steve-O, saying that they just need to get it to the backs, but the forwards have got to lay the platform for Warrington to allow the backs to do their job.
My word, you can't build a house unless you've got a good floor, a good setting.
Foundation.
I knew I'd get it there sometime.
This is Dave King. Oh, out the back door. Hilton drops it. It goes into the arms of Frace. And Frace just found Marwood, who was immediately buried.
Another forced error there. They really have got to get their sleeves rolled up, Warrington. Get themselves involved. When you look at the size of Dave King and Bruce Maguire, they really have got to take it up to them, but it's completely the opposite. The Workington 6 are taking control.
Armstrong with that run. 32 minutes gone. Workington ahead by 5 points to 2. And possession, nothing in it, is there? Just a couple of percent in Workington's favour. They fancy hoisting the kick again. Marwood. There's a tester for Penny, and Penny catches it behind his own line, defused the bomb, and he gets a pat on the back from Mark Johnson too.
Did well. You could see the right leg come up to protect himself. He's never leaving the football at any time. Great take.
Coming back to his best, Penny, isn't he? Here he is again now, trying to launch this attack. He gets Warrington over the halfway line in 2 tackles. That's the sort of run that maybe will inspire them. Here maybe is another inspirer in Harris, who gets the pass away to Penny. Off the dummy half. Harris again. Good short ball to Sculthorpe, and David Frace held on to Sculthorpe's collar. And that's a penalty. Frace did the difficult job and then pushed Sculthorpe down a second time.
Fingertip control. Sculthorpe was going to take the penalty. Now, remember, the referee, Colin Morris, called both captains and said any more of the infringements like that at the play of the ball, you'll go and have a rest. Looks like Colin has forgotten about that.
Here's Hilton. 6-2, the penalties in Warrington's favour. They didn't take the shot at goal, you might have noticed. They're now running it. They're running it with Penny, and Penny scores! Biggest cheer of the night so far from the terraces for Lee Penny, the Warrington fullback, the under-21 international.
The most amazing thing about this, that the ball was taken from the Warrington half by all the 3 quarters, not a forward involving themselves. And what a great try for Lee Penny. It was his run that took the big bomb. That's the penalty, the mistake that came at it. Long ball out wide. Mackie, you'll see the dummy runner come through. Euston Harris used him well, dragged it away, and Lee Penny, super stuff there. There's nothing that the loose forward Darren Carter could do about that.
Lee Penny's 4th try of this season. He won 1 of his 3 under-21 international caps up at Derwent Park, the home of Workington, but David Frace reflecting on the fact that if he'd not pushed the man down as he tried to get to his feet, perhaps Lee Penny would not have scored. So Davis with the conversion attempt. 1 out of 2 for Davis. This one by far the most difficult. But the right side of the field for the right-footed kicker. It's on the way. The flags are up. And Warrington have the extra 2. And they have the lead now, 8 points to 5.
Notice the dummy runner come on the back on the inside to Houston Harris. You can see the defence hang on, and that's enough to send the ball out wide there. Second dummy runner again, and that's a well-worked try. For once, the Wires have got it together.
Davis with a terrific conversion from close to the touchline and trying to rally his troops here because he knows how important this game is tonight for Warrington in the overall pattern of things. Having so many new young supporters through the turnstiles, maybe for the first time. Young kids, Steve-O, so fickle, they don't want to support losers, they'll only come and support winners.
They only want winners, don't they? Well, they did when I was a kid. That should lift them. And also, I'm sure that their coach, Brian Johnson, will have plenty to say. Less than 4 minutes before the break.
Maguire's pass was to nobody, and John Huff did well then to get back and retain possession for his team, but he's taken a bang. On Sunday at 7 o'clock, don't forget, we're live at Brentford for the Broncos against Leeds. The big league returns to the capital for the first time in 12 years. We're at Brentford Football Club. That's Griffin Park, just off the A4 in London. And I hope that we will see many of you down there as the big league returns to the capital.
That'll be a tough one too. It will be no Sunday afternoon picnic for evening picnic, should I say, for Leeds.
No, Leeds will bring their stars to the capital, just as Warrington have got their stars out here tonight to parade in front of this packed house at Wilderspool. But Workington lifted by the atmosphere, as I'm sure London will be lifted by the opposition and the atmosphere on Sunday night.
It's important for Workington now not to panic, to get into the half-time break, sort things out.
Play the ball. Oh, I thought it was play the ball, but hold him down. I don't know whether Roland Phillips actually played that ball properly.
Grabbing the collar. You can see there, it's Foster. Now, maybe a message could get through to Colin Morris. Remember, he warned the captains. A bad mistake from Forster. He'll get the rounds of the kitchen if Workington post a try here just before half-time.
Here's Gary McGurk, tackled there by Dave King. Gawley, the dummy half. Oh, he's got nowhere to go, and he almost used McGurk there as a shepherd. Referee, I think, has given a penalty for the flop. Paul Sculthorpe is looking baffled and bemused. That could have been a penalty to Warrington.
Yep.
But there's the little flop. Sculthorpe just grabbing at the shoulders of Gawley. Penalty Workington. Chance here to go 8-7. Steve-O, this is not in the script for Warrington. They're being given a real battle here.
Well, they take the ascendancy, don't they? And then they just give it away with 2 silly mistakes. First Forster, and then another one just before the half-time break.
Here's Marwood with the penalty then. He's got chances, and what's more, he's got 2 points. And the crowd at Wilderspool goes pretty quiet, because Workington are back to within a point. 8-7. Dean Marwood with that penalty. And as you say, Steve-O, Mr. Sculthorpe is about to get the rounds of the kitchen in about 40 seconds' time from his coach, Brian Johnson.
And deservedly so. They've lost the plot. You could see the coach there, Mr. Johnson, not too pleased.
You've got to give Workington credit. As Holgate ran that ball out, they have taken this battle to Warrington, and they really are in a battle here, Warrington. They now know that. Armstrong picks himself up, plays it to Gawley, to Carter, to Phillips. Phillips is tackled well by Kettlewell. Marwood again. Stoppage time of this first half. Last tackle here for Workington. They'll surely just pump it downfield. Carter with the kick, and Lee Penny has to run the ball out. Pape tracked him, and McGurk got to him.
Good kick and chase there. Good work by the substitute, Gary McGurk. They really are helping each other, this Workington pack.
Tell you what, these two sides, Steve-O, will be delighted to hear the half-time siren, because it's been played at a frantic pace, hasn't it?
Fast and furious and tough. There'll be plenty of bruises nursed there. And there'll be plenty said by both coaches. I must say that Kurt Sorensen must be very pleased with his charges.
Tackle there by the two second rows. Armstrong and Holgate was on Lee Penny. Davis from dummy half dabs it over the top, and it was watched by Roland Phillips. Welshman diffuses Welshman here.
Did well there. You could see the little halfback, Dean Marwood. He was the sweeper, but the prop forward was also back in support.
Lovely run from Marwood.
Stephen Holgate, the second row from Workington, receiving attention. He got a bad knock during that last tackle.
There's the half-time siren. King's tackle on Kitchen. The last action of this first half. And newcomers to this sport at Wilderspool tonight can be only impressed by the effort put in by Lee Penny and company out on the field. Penny with the vital try gave Warrington the lead, but David Brace's try shook Wilderspool to its boots after 8 minutes. The youngsters, I think, enjoying what they've seen. The only thing they want now, from a Warrington point of view in the second half, is for their heroes to go on and win this match. But in a match, they most certainly are. Workington are matching them all the way. Warrington are unbeaten at home against Workington since 1981. They won 17 points to 6 here then, did Workington. Since then, Warrington have managed 4 straight wins. But my word, they are up against it today, 8 points to 7. And Colin Armstrong leads the Workington players out for the second half, and a highly entertaining first 40 minutes it was. And perhaps after a little 10-minute breather, Workington will have second wind and push on for what will be a vital victory for them, and a historic victory too, in front of this packed crowd here at Wilderspool tonight.
Well, I'm sure the Workington coach Kurt Sorensen would have said more of the same, please. Okay, we're only 1 point adrift. But really the territorial advantage that they displayed in that first 40 minutes must lift their spirits. Warrington, of course, Mark Forster made quite a few errors, unforced on a couple of occasions. Gave away a silly penalty just before the end, which would have not pleased their coach, Brian Johnson. Very difficult for a coach to go in at half-time with a 1-point lead and really give your side the round to the kitchens, but I'm sure that he has done that.
Lee Penny, who of course got over the whitewash for the try in the first half, and he knows where the try line is. 64-12 here last season. Well, I wonder if your money would be on a 64-12 scoreline now, because it's the half-time at 8 points to 7 in Warrington's favour, and we have 40 minutes of exciting football to come in the Stonesbitter Centenary Championship season here at Wilderspool tonight. And I'm sure that the Warrington forwards will be spurred on to greater things by their coach, Brian Johnson, during that half-time interval. Dave King getting in there with that second tackle of the second half. McGurk with the drive upfield for Workington, 10 metres inside his own half. And here's Roland Phillips. Looked for a big game tonight on his first return to Warrington. Remember, he joined Warrington from Neath in 1990. He was let go, and he's desperate to prove himself again here tonight. Good kick, meanwhile, from Marwood.
Good hard work from the forward, set them up into a position just over the halfway line. Kick deep into the corner, no one at home. And the way that Workington's defence has been forcing the errors from Warrington, There'll be cock-a-hoop about that. It's a good start for them. An important first 10 minutes for either side. The side who least mistake-ridden in those vital 10 minutes of this second half will probably go on and win the football game.
Mackey in the dummy half, and he gets it to Wainwright. It's a loose pass from Wainwright. Penny has to pick it up, and the referee, I think, saw a little knock on there. It wasn't from Penny.
Well, we talked about the mistakes. Wasn't the best from Wainwright.
There was no knock on there.
No. I think he thought that Easton Harris got a fingertips to it. Either way, that's a mistake that Workington were looking for.
And they're in possession 10 metres away from that Warrington line. It was Wayne Kitchen there disappearing under the tackle. That was Marwood, and this is Phillips. Attracting 4 players to him, Big Roland, every time he gets to the ball. And here now is Carter. It's a good run from Carter. Oh, he lost the ball over the line then. He was so close, Darren Carter, and he now knows how close he was.
Well, he definitely lost the football, but what on earth were Warrington's defence doing there? He just ambled up to the loose forward Carter, took the football and realised he was nearly over the line. If it wasn't for the attention of Paul Sculthorpe, that would have been a vital try early in the second half.
Off the dummy half, and he finds Hilton with the first pass. Good scrambling defence from Workington. They're working very hard. Kurt Sorensen has got them running high on pride here tonight. Maguire disappears under the challenge from Carter.
He lost that.
He did. Referee didn't see it.
Where's the touch judges?
Mackey's in at dummy half. This is Davis. High hanging kick again from Davis. Davis. Carter got a hand to it. The ball went backwards. Davis ran and put all the players onside. Here's Roland Phillips.
Well, he lost it completely there, did the Australian second rower. Should have been the advantage to the Workington side. Either way, they've come up with the football.
Another run coming in here from Gary McGuirk. And let's pick up half-time news from the dressing rooms with Bill.
News of Paul Cullen first. He's got a swelling on his arm, and it doesn't look as though he's going to be coming back on in this second half, which is a blow for Warrington, missing a fierce competitor. You'd have thought there might be some flack flying in that Warrington dressing room at half-time, but according to assistant coach Clive Griffiths, it was quite calm in there, and coach Brian Johnson was asking his players to be patient and maybe move the ball out a little bit wider, but keep plugging away and cut out the errors. Kevin Ellis alongside me. What do you think Workington will be looking to do?
Well, I just think, you know, their game plan is going as well as the first half. They'll just be looking to, you know, keep the pressure on Warrington, a good set of 6, and finish off with a nice kick.
It's Warrington in possession with Easton Harris. A dancing run from Harris. Penny was there in support, but he was tracked all the way by Stephen Holgate. Here's Sculthorpe, and now Mackey. Out wide to Harris again. Oh, and it was indecision. And the Workington Town player had to stand off then because he might have been caught offside. He was stood in front of the ball when he came back to him.
Well, Easton Harris trying to keep the ball alive in a lot of heavy traffic. Been another problem for the Warrington side, trying to get the ball away in impossible situations.
Here's Holgate again. 14 handling errors, and Warrington have made 8 of them. Armstrong. Colin Armstrong, 32 years old. Marwood gets the ball away to Phillips. Hoff and Maguire put him down. Last tackle here for Workington. Expect the kick from Pape. Oh, it was poor kick. Out on the full. Will be brought back to where the kick was taken, and it's the turnover.
Well, it was a nice switch to the blind. The idea was there, but the centre Pape came off the side of his boot.
Kevin Pape trying 2 of the last 3 for Workington, as Mackey tries to take it up in all the heavy traffic.
Well, I would have thought that Greg Mackey would be looking for a big game tonight with the news that Warrington, of course, they've signed Mike Ford. evidently on a 3-year contract. So he'll be looking to try to settle on a long-term contract himself, but he really has been playing behind the beaten pack.
Penalty Mackie has got because Marwood was all over him.
Well, it's the same tactics they utilised in the first 40, slowing the game down.
Good deep penalty kick. Warrington back in the danger zone. Injured player is Stephen Holgate, just receiving treatment. The referee wants to have a quick look at Holgate before allowing play to continue. It might be a blood bin here. Yes, take him off, he says, and patch him up. Out will come the green card. So Holgate goes to the blood bin.
That was good work, though, by Holgate and the trainer. Did you notice where they stopped for treatment? Right where the penalty should have been taken. They're working all the moves tonight at Workington.
Gary Schubert comes on for Holgate in the blood bin. Hilton, meanwhile, will drive the ball in again for Warrington. 10 metres short of the line. Huff turns it down the short side. Wainwright. Scrambling defence again from Workington. Note the way they're just slowing this play the ball down. All the time. They're making Warrington just check and think. Long ball into the arms of Harris. This is Kettlewell. Almost through one. Good challenge in the end from Kitchen. Now it's with Harris. Taken over by King. Over the top to Forster. Policed by Frace and Johnson. Frace gets to him. It's terrific defence from Workington. 5 tackles gone. Mackie will try and spread it out wide. Harris, oh, he went for the long ball out wide, and Pape, well, he nearly picked up the interception again.
He took the gamble, did Kevin Pape. Easton Harris sending out a real screamer. Davis would have been in for a try. There was no one at home. The centre took the gamble, just couldn't handle it. I've seen knock-ons be not given with the ball going backwards like that. The impact was forward.
The referee puts the scrum down. Warrington's head and feed. Pape thinks he's saved the try, but Harris, on the very first tackle, scoots in and touches down behind the posts and brings perhaps a bit of relief to this Wilderspool crowd. Welsh international Easton Harris showed lots of class there, and he just whipped around the back of the scrum.
All skill. See how he used the dummy runner, then the second dummy runner. He really did fool Wayne Kitchen there. The Workington standoff went for the missing man, and the skills of the Welshman, Easton Harris. That second dummy there totally confused Wayne Kitchen. That is superb skills from the youngster. Really has been a turning point to bring him on midway through that first half, hasn't it?
Try against Workington here last season, and now a try here tonight. So Jonathan Davis, 2 from 3. This time he's bang in front, and he makes no mistake whatsoever. So suddenly it's turned a little easier in Warrington's favour. 14 points to 7.
This is the route of the dummy runner, and this is what confuses the standoff Wayne Kitchen. And he just slides his body around. Beautiful balance. He really is a talent.
There's Easton Harris's try. Looks better now from the Warrington point of view, 14 to 7. And is that now the little kick up the backside that this Warrington side needed? And they go on now and really wrap this match up. Sculthorpe. Suddenly they're starting to look as though they might be running strongly onto the football. King.
Well, that's probably the first time this game that I've seen the second row, Bruce Maguire, really run with enthusiasm.
Warrington certainly in control of the opening 10 minutes of this second half. Mackie almost through a gap. It was a great tackle from Gawley. John Huff. Sculthorpe was with him, and he's still going, is Huff. That's a great run. That's what we saw at Sheffield last week. It's now with Harris. Harris will dab it through. Livett waits, and Livett picks it up.
Good work from the fullback. It was a nice little chip through. Positioned himself well, though, did Livett. Well played. Not only happy to secure the football, made valuable yards as well. But that's much better defence. a lot keener around the second marker.
Good work from Davis with that tackle on Marwood. You can hear all the young voices starting now to get behind their team. They know they're in a scrap, though, with this Workington side, who have run high on pride, and certainly with a degree of tactics, I think, that have been brought onto the field with them from the coaching of Kurt Sorensen. Penny, tackled by Gawley. Mackie into the arms of Kettlewell. Schubert and Kettlewell collide. Welcome to the big league, Ronnie.
That hurt Kettlewell. He's down on his haunches.
Harris.
Big hit.
Space for Harris. Closed down by Johnson. Sculthorpe at dummy half. Here's Hilton trying to swat the tacklers away. Oh, and it was a good job that Carter got to him.
Now it's Warrington that's getting over that advantage line with ease. The Workington defence a little bit tired now.
Davis to pass out wide again, and Pape again going for the intercept. Just punched it forward.
Living dangerously yet again. There you see him out of the defensive line. It was 2-on-1. Miss it. And they're in for a try. It is a big gamble. But at 14-7, they've got to try something.
And to be fair, Steve, if he'd have managed to pick that ball up, he might have been in for the try. It was worth the gamble. Chambers is on for King. Kettlewell there, looking none the worse for the experience of the big collision with Gary Schubert. He plays the ball and Penny's on the run. Hoff is in at dummy half. Mackie now. Ball out to Kettlewell. Wrestled to the floor by Frace.
Just about to say that the youngster John Hoff, the hooker, he hasn't run much from dummy half. I think about twice in the entire game. I think we might see a little bit more from dummy half from him.
Kettlewell couldn't pick that ball up. Spilled it. And Johnson's looking for a penalty.
Swiveled his body at the impact, trying to get away from the tackle. Lost control of the football. It was good work by Mark Johnson. He's in a hard game, the winger.
Schubert takes the tackle, plays the ball then. This is Gawley, the hooker. Here's Roland Phillips again. Well, he won't stop. Unless he's put to the floor, which he is now by Chambers. Right on the halfway line. Phillips plays the ball to Gawley. It's back with Marwood. Marwood just turns them round. That will find... I was going to say that will find touch, but it came back into the field of play, and Johnson comes up and shoves Lee Penny into our advertising board.
He's in a lot of pain as well. I think he got his foot caught underneath it. He didn't expect Johnson to be coming at him at full pace. And I think the left ankle has gone right underneath the board. Well, it looks all right. But good work by Mark Johnson. South African very eager, keen to get up there. Surprised the fullback Lee Penny, who's also had a fine game.
Here goes Kitchen again. Maguire just getting to his feet with the use of an elbow on Kitchen, who was grounded. Armstrong. Chambers came flying out of the line then to tackle Armstrong and missed him. Maguire's all over him. Maguire has conceded a penalty, and if looks could kill.
Well, he got sucked into it there. There's a few words being said. Yeah. Colin Armstrong, the Workington skipper, quite happy to get away with it, but I am still at loss as to why Colin Morris, midway through the first half, indicated to both skippers any more interference at the play of the ball, you will have addressed in the sin bin. Well, we've seen about 6. Maybe he's in a good mood, Colin Morris. Certainly not putting me in a good mood.
Dean Marwood then, 14-7. This will narrow the gap. Bang in front, 20 metres out. Well, what a miss that is. And that, Dean Marwood, could be very costly indeed. And I think he knows it. He should have put that over, Steve-O. He's a goal kicker of some repute.
bad miss. It was vital. He realises that Workington have to score on 3 occasions now. That 1 point buffer, 7 points. Even if Workington collect a converted try, they'd still have their tails up with that 1 point lead. Psychologically, it's to Warrington at the moment.
He's got another penalty. This time, it's Wainwright.
Well, that's about the 3rd occasion that Wainwright's done that. I mean, it was milked, there's no doubt about it. Penrice did everything right. That's not in the book. What is in the book, and I hate to keep repeating myself, but when is Colin Morris going to find the yellow card?
Roland Phillips bounces away from Sculthorpe, bounces away from Hoff. He really is taking them on up front, is Roland Phillips, as is Gary Schubert now. The hooker is Gawley. Marwood spreads the ball to Kitchen. Kitchen, a short ball to Armstrong, and they must score here, and they have. And it's Kevin Pape, the man who can score tries from anywhere, and they just hung off Warrington. They hung off the man in possession, and the ball was fed through, and Pape was over.
You won't see a better pass from this from the standoff Wayne Kitchen. He throws the dummy, and look how they stand there. Maguire said, I'm going looking for him. The skipper, Colin Armstrong, takes it out, and the centre, Kevin Pape, who's been threatening to intercept on 2 or 3 occasions. But this is sheer skill. Throw the dummy, holds them up. As soon as Maguire comes for him, the gap is there. Basic football, but it's pretty to watch. Excellent stuff.
Kevin Pape, 3rd try. That's 3 in his last 4 matches. And Marwood now with this conversion attempt, and had he clipped the penalty over, well, this would be for the lead. But he kicks it from out there, he misses from bang in front, and Marwood is shaking his head. He knows the miss in front could be so costly.
There you see Maguire going into the standoff Kitchen. The skipper goes through Armstrong. He did well there. Good support there from Kevin Pape. And the Town are back in this game. That really was a well-worked try.
It was a beautifully delayed pass. Wayne Kitchen just waited for the Warrington defensive line to open up, and they obliged. Well, I think Roland Phillips, although he took a bang there, is enjoying his return to Wilderspool. Even though he's still 1 point behind on the scoreboard, there's still a quarter of this match to go, and anything can happen here.
Sure can. It's a great game, Roland Phillips, and he's running out wide, just as the second row would do, gaining a lot of ground. To be fair, though, to Warrington in this second half, they've really sort of boxed him in. They've cut him down. He was sucking the defenders to him and then twisting and getting the ball away. He hasn't done that yet this half.
Here's Kitchen, the man who engineered the try, the kick downfield. Now then, that bounced over the top of the corner flag. Watch the touch judge's decision. Touch judge's decision is in touch.
Tap on the quarter.
Ran touch in goal.
Oh, yes, easy.
The flag went up, though, as though the ball had come the right side of the corner flag. Warrington are in possession. They won't be arguing about that particular decision.
Look at the tackle in there. Oh, it is ferocious.
Schubert and Armstrong there on Mark Hilton. Harris to Sculthorpe. Gets the pass away brilliantly off the deck. Jason Lee is hauled down unfairly by Paul Penrice.
Attacked the head. He had one arm on the chest. And slipped right up into the face. But what a beautiful pass from Houston Harris. There it is. Went on the shoulder, but eventually right into the face. Jonathan Davis helping referee Colin Morris.
Davis in back play was being held back there too without the football. That's, I think, what he was indicating. Anyway, Warrington are now on the charge and looking for another try with Hilton. Schubert all over him, and Schubert grabbing at the collar again. Colin Morris's patience is standing firm. Kettlewell hits the gap.
Desperation stuff from Kitchen there. Try-saving tackle.
Penny to Harris, who drops it.
Well, probably got the safest pair of hands in rugby league, the youngster. But you could see clearly that he'd taken his eyes off the football. He was more intent as to whereabouts he was going to run. Simple, basic error.
Workington desperate to get Stephen Holgate back on the field. He is being stitched in the dressing room with 4 stitches in a facial wound. Schubert's the man who came on to replace him, and Schubert the man who goes off now to allow him to return. So Holgate back on, and bravely too, with 4 stitches. Holgate, the England international, the sort of man perhaps with all the class and quality to turn this game Workington's way. Meanwhile, Marwood, under great pressure, puts a good kick in all along the deck.
Did well. He was shattered all the way there by Sculthorpe. He knows that a kick into touch. Hope for the mistake yet again. A good solid performance from the little halfback. He's been around a while. He really is a character in our game. Tough as they come.
And you mentioned, Steve-O, the other number 7, Greg Mackey, just passing the ball there to Mark Forster. He is a man under pressure at Wilderspool now, with Mike Ford having been signed, the scrum half, ex of Castleford, and more recently of the Queensland Crushers.
Well, I said earlier that he'd look for a big game, but I'm sure that Warrington are looking for more depth in many ways.
Sculthorpe trying to dart through the gap. We've got a terrific contest here tonight, and we've got a great contest coming up for you on Sunday when we're live at Brentford Football Club in London for the Broncos against Leeds. The big league returns to the capital, 12 years on. This is a terrific occasion here tonight, courtesy of all the youngsters who've been allowed in for free, getting a look at the game first-hand, maybe for the first time, seeing Davis put the grubber kick in that just runs too strongly. And I'm sure, Steve-O, that come Sunday night, there'll be a few newcomers to the game in London also.
Be a great day. Roll along. There'll be plenty of excitement, that's for sure. But you could see the expression on Jonathan Davies' face. He virtually lost that football. It wasn't the best pass out wide. It was dipping. He knew he couldn't get it with his fingertips, so he put the kick on. It was far too heavy. They know they're in the battle. 1 point may not be enough.
There's Holgate with the stitches. And Steve-O, it's amazing to think that on Sunday against the Saints at home, Workington conceded 66 points. This is a different side. Kurt Sorensen's worked well this week.
Well, they're going through the basics very well. They're playing out their full complement of 6. The kicking game from Marwood and Kitchen has been excellent. The chasing game is good too.
High kick again from Marwood, again putting Foster under pressure. And although he was hit immediately by Kitchen, he held on to that ball.
Good work there from Forster, but you can see also good work from Greg Mackey. He made himself a shield. That didn't occur in the first half. There's the coach, Kurt Sorensen. He'll be quite happy.
And alongside him, Phil McKenzie, who, of course, with Billy McGinty, took over the coaching reins early on for the match against Wigan that we brought to you on the opening evening of this centenary season from Derwent Park. And obviously, McKenzie and McGinty have a part to play in the future coaching of this team. But my word, they're going through the basics well. Although they now have to defend this run from Mackey. Warrington streaming up in support, and Penny went without the ball. Referee will pull it back for the knock-on. And Warrington blow another chance.
Well, just panic. Heavy traffic. Greg Mackey could see that both Jonathan Davis and Lee Penny, they were being trailed by Workington players, and that can be the difference between winning and losing. You make the half break, but make sure of possession. How many times Warrington has spilled up the football early in the tackle count?
The attendance here tonight, a highly creditable 7,038. Quite a few of those, of course, have been allowed in here totally free of charge, and Warrington, having taken the big gamble, hope that next time they have a game here at Wilderspool, many of these youngsters will come back, and what's more, they'll bring mum and dad with them too. And it's a gamble, Steve-O, that we all hope will pay off.
Well, it should do. It's been a gritty performance from both sides. It's been heavy out there. Workington playing to their game plan of just slowing things down. Warrington wanted a free-flowing game. They haven't got one. And unfortunately for the referee, Colin Morris, he's allowed both sides to just hang on and slow things down at the play of the ball. If they'd have perhaps put someone in the sin bin, we'd have got a more open game earlier. But I still think it will come. I think Warrington, in the last 10 minutes, will explode. I just get a sneaky feeling this Workington pack are starting to get a little bit tired.
Throughout this second half, the Warrington defence has been under immense pressure because Workington have played out their sets of 6 tackles repeatedly throughout this second half. Tremendous display from them. Davis was on the deck then when he picked up that play of the ball. He just tapped it to the man on his inside. It was Mark Forster. Davis claiming he was tripped. Here's Chambers now. Hoff disappears. Phillips and Marwood. Those two have worked really hard.
Once again, you saw that Marwood trying to slow things down. They're not messing around and getting up and allowing Warrington to play. Well, look at that. Hold him down, and the referee's letting him get away with it.
Spoiling tactics, but it's paying off for Workington. We have the sniff of a really big upset here if Workington come and pinch the points from Warrington. 14-13. Warrington on the last tackle, midway inside the Workington half. Harris aims it for the corner. Underneath it is Johnson. He turns away from Lee, and off goes Mark Johnson. Ankle tapped.
Good work.
Good job too.
Good work from Forster. He really was given a dummy there. He just twisted and turned with Mark Johnson. That should be a knock-on from Warrington.
It is.
Well, I'm not so sure that this was a good option from Colin Armstrong. But he realises that time is ticking away. There's still that 1 point away. Good work here from Johnson. But also good work. He came back, didn't he? It was Davis that got him. I thought it was Forster, but it was Davis, the Welsh wizard. It's a vital tackle.
Here's Phillips. Tucks the ball under the arm. Drives it in again. Tackled there by Chambers. Now Armstrong. Oh, and Frace is through the gap. David Frace is taking on Penny. He drags Johnson into it. Gets the pass back from Johnson, does the Frenchman, and then is enveloped by Mark Forster. Marwood, long ball. Holgate through the dummy to no one in particular then. Warrington weren't fooled, and he's wrestled to the floor. Here goes the hooker, Gawley. They're camped in front of the post. What price a drop goal here to level the scores? They're set for it, and they've got it with Wayne Kitchen, and it's 14-all.
Let's get a share of the spoils. Good thinking there by Wayne Kitchen. Warrington didn't expect that. They thought they'd go for the try, but Kitchen was quite happy to level the scores. It's going to go down the wire, perhaps.
We're at the home of the wire, and that's where we're heading. David Frace so close to a try when he shot through the gap. Workington applied the pressure and came up with a 1 point courtesy of Wayne Kitchen. He will remember his 100th appearance for Workington Town, there's no doubt about that. And we all will on Sky Sports. It's 14-all, 10 minutes to go. Terrific contest. Phillips. He's a real handful, is Roland Phillips. Johnson. And here's Armstrong. Let's go pitch side and Bill.
Just for a minute, it looked as though Warrington were going to bring Greg Mackey off. They had young Graham Close stripped off and ready to come on. But Mackey has said that he wants to carry on. So Greg Mackey sticking on to see this one through. But a change for Workington, because off comes Roland Phillips after a storming performance, and on comes Peter Riley for them.
Well, Roland Phillips has certainly been the star of this Workington outfit tonight. And Peter Riley, number 17, there in to try and shore up things towards the end. And Davis makes an unholy mess of that. No wonder Mike Wainwright looks at him and says, what was that?
Under pressure. Peter Riley had come on and straight away applies pressure to Jonathan Davis. He's not happy with it. What an opportunity. I thought Workington looked to be out on their feet, but they really have bounced back. That 1 point from Wayne Kitchen that's leveled the scores, it really has lifted their spirits.
And they're driving it in again towards the goalpost with Wayne Kitchen once more. Marwood behind the play, directing traffic. There's another 1 pointer begging here, but Gawley goes for 4, and he's just held up. That's how close Workington are.
It's got to be Marwood.
Back to Marwood. They're spreading it wide. Carter. Desperate defence now from Warrington. 8 minutes to go. 14 points all. They go out wide. They're coming back inside with Gawley. Tackled by Mackey. Will Kitchen set for another 1 pointer. Into the arms of Frace. Frace with a 1 point attempt, and he's kicked it. And Workington have the lead. David Frace with the drop goal when they were all standing round waiting for Kitchen.
And Workington got it all wrong. Kitchen was waiting for the football. It was an awful pass. And the Frenchman, I don't know whether he's used to kicking drop goals, but he looked calm, cool and collected. I think the Workington players said, gee, didn't know you could do that. Either way, the town have taken the lead. What an effort.
7 minutes and a few seconds to go, and Workington hit the front, and they have the ball back, of course, from the kickoff. And Darren Carter will try and tuck it underneath the arm again and run it back out. That's what Workington have done all evening.
They've respected possession, and that's what they'll do now. One out stuff, just keep driving forward. It's been a tremendous effort from them.
And here they come again with Kitchen. They get it to the halfway line. Gawley's the dummy half. Now Marwood. Another drop goal from Marwood. He's kicked that one too. Well, Marwood missed a penalty from bang in front. Now he's kicked the 1 point that might just pinch this match.
That's all of 35 metres. Tremendous 1 pointer. Jubilation, Dean Marwood.
16-14. Workington edging towards a famous win at Wilderspool. 2 points the gap now. 1 pointers suddenly are no use to Warrington. And Davis's kick, it finds touch. It nearly sailed out on the full.
Good thinking though from Davis. There's no point in getting the ball full right deep into the corner. He knows that Workington have applied the tactic of just one out football deep within their own quarter. He tried a short little chip over, it nearly came off. They've got to gamble now of the wire.
It was March 1981 when Workington last won here in the First Division by 17 points to 6. Since then, Warrington have inflicted 4 straight defeats on this Workington town team. But tonight, Workington are on the verge of a victory. 5 minutes to go. They lead by 2 points. And Gary McQuirk, who came on as a substitute, has worked hard, as all of these black-shirted Workington players have.
It's a brave move by the Workington coach, Kurt Sorensen, to take off one of your best men, Roland Phillips, but it certainly worked.
Holgate with a drop goal attempt then. They're all at it now. And Kurt Sorensen allows himself a little wry smile at that.
And I know what it's for. He'll say, remind me to tell Holgate not to go for a drop goal.
Well, they've probably just seen number 4 there running out of your picture, David Frace, land his first drop goal in British football, and they thought, well, if the Frenchman can do it, why can't we all? It's been a terrific tackling display from Colin Armstrong, number 11, and the rest of this Workington team. Warrington are running up blind alleys, but can they now find the way through?
Not with tackling like that, they can. They've got to gamble now. We haven't seen much of the silky skills from Jonathan Davis. We need it now.
Kettlewell out wide to Forster. Forster tips the ball back inside to Kettlewell. As soon as he picked the ball up, Armstrong was on him. Mackey to Harris. Harris dabs it through, and that, the ball went backwards, said Colin Morris, but the substitute McGurk picked it up in an offside position.
Well, he's looking to get away with that, but you can see that the ball rolling back. He had come back over the advantage line. There it goes there. You'll see that he comes back first. He takes a big stride. That was enough to convince Colin Morris that it was okay. But the penalty given, Mike Wainwright stood in an offside position, according to the referee.
Or was it because the Workington player had the ball ripped out of his grasp?
Either way, Workington will be happy about it. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yes, it is.
Well spotted. This will be up the jumper stuff now. Workington will drive right towards...
Oh, McGurk! Now, was that the moment for Warrington? Davis trying to sidestep his way to the line, but with tackling like this, it's not a night for sidesteppers. Penny. Well, Gary McGurk, I just said how well he'd done in that team tackling department, and he surrenders possession, and here comes Sculthorpe.
At a time when it was up the jumper stuff, there's a possession there, Workington. Plenty of football.
Davis, great tackle by Pate. Mackey taking them on, but three big men bring him down. Here's Harris. Warrington must score with Kettlewell if they can, but he drops the ball. It went backwards, they claim, but referee Colin Morris disagrees, and that could be it.
Not the best pass, but it was high, and in vital times like that, you've got to make sure of possession. A disappointed youngster, Ronnie Kettlewell. Long ball out wide, it was a gamble that they'd taken. Frace down injured.
And that fumble was on the last Warrington tackle, so it's the turnover. Johnson plays the ball quickly to Marwood, but this really is now the time when Workington will surely just slow it down even further.
Good work there from the hooker, Jonathan Gawley, running from dummy half. He knew that the pressure was on. Nerves are tingling out there.
Marwood gets the pass away to Kitchen. Desperate defence now from Warrington. Workington are on halfway. Marwood again, and here now is Carter. Carter to Armstrong. He gives it to Frace, and Frace is away again. David Frace. He missed by Penny. Oh, Frace passes the ball back straight into the arms of Penny.
Well, it was an awful attempt by Lee Penny, the full-back, and he must have shouted for the football.
They went for the intercept again. That's play on. Davis has it, and Davis is thrown and bundled into touch.
It's got to be a penalty. Or is it?
No, he's put the scrum down.
Well, he's tackled as far as I'm concerned. The second man took him out. I know he was rolling over in... Referee Colin Morris obviously thought the momentum got him there. Yeah, it was the second man that came in. I thought the tackle had been completed. And when the man went for the legs, he came in a split second too late in my book.
Well, the man who matters is Colin Morris, and he's put the scrum down. And Workington now, as we approach the end of the 80 minutes, will surely just put the ball up the jumper and play out this 6.
Well, I go for the 1 point.
They might go for 4 with Armstrong. Armstrong just half a metre short. Gawley's the dummy half. He's going for the glory. So close again. Darren Carter's the dummy half.
Not the best play of the ball from Jonathan Gawley.
It was risky. Last tackle, Livett. What a night for Peter Livett. Chips the ball over the top. Former Woolston amateur. And Jason Lee's got it. Jason Lee is just ankle tapped by Pate, and they get him at the second attempt. There's the siren, it's all over. Workington have won. First time since 1981. A little shake of the hand for Kurt Sorensen from Phil McKenzie. and hugs all over the field for this Workington team who have come here and have won against all the odds. What a night for Roland Phillips. His first return to Wilderspool, and his first return comes up with the win. Marwood missed with a penalty in front. It looked like the chance had gone. Then he slotted over a conversion. He added a lengthy drop goal, and Workington came up with the points. A great night for rugby league. So many newcomers inside the ground, and Workington have stolen the points. 16-14. A great game.